Hello everyone and welcome to this Elden Ring Nightreign video. Today I'm going to be soloing Everdark Sovereign Adel, Baron of Night, with Wilder here. I had really intended on this just being a clean playthrough of me soloing Adel and kind of demonstrating what a run looks like for me, but let's just say I made some mistakes and I played very badly. I feel like the first part of the run actually went very well, but it was those last 15 minutes or so that seemed to go downhill very quickly. I wanted to post this run anyway just to give an honest representation of how scuffed some runs can be and how you can actually salvage them. And yeah, I just want to show people that if you persist and don't give up, even bad runs can end in victory. And so just to show you the relics I'm running for this build, I'm running the Whetstone. I really like the follow-up attack a lot. I use it constantly. The Stone Sword relic and the earring. So let's go ahead and load into the game and I'll show you kind of what a run looks like for me. This will be single player, but most of my pathing and different things will apply to when I'm running multiplayer as well. Just very slight differences between the two, honestly, that I've noticed. Okay, so it's going to drop us here at a church first. I'll go ahead and clear out that church and then make my way up to the fort. Now I definitely want to move quickly here. You definitely want to move quickly here at certain points. But taking the time to pick up a couple just different little helpful things is never a bad idea. Normally I wouldn't run this at level 1. But I'm trying to move moderately quickly here. Not that I think we're going to be in a big rush. I'm just going to go ahead and pop this now. See if get anything extra good off of this boss. Banished Knight Greatsword, that's not bad. Go ahead and equip that. I don't care to look in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and go up here just to check if there's a Stone Sword key in the big chest. Which, yes, there was. So I've got 2 since I started with 1. Go ahead and grab this as well. I'm just gonna head down here to the first Evergaol I see. And I'm not gonna waste any time. I'm gonna pop my ult pretty quickly, especially, yeah, if it's a group like these guys. Go ahead and pop that. It's one thing I definitely try to do with Wilder's ult a lot, is get as many people grouped up in that thing as possible. As you can see, we're already doing really good damage. I definitely spam that follow-up attack a whole lot since I have an extra character skill. There's a little micro stun, really leads to some good confirms. Physical attack power all day. Those 10,000 runes are not worth it in the long run, and I think we're gonna have plenty. So now I'm about the level that I would normally go to the castle. But since this is a single player, I might wait just a bit longer. Get a couple more levels before I go run that. Actually, here's a perfect field boss for me to get some good runes off of. Actually gonna go ahead and pop this foul foot as well. Actually, don't know why I always forget to use the foul foots when I have them. Feet. Stance breaking is good. I'm gonna go ahead and head up to that church. Actually, since this Evergaol is not far, I'm gonna go there first. A lot of this game is just making those snap decisions. But generally what I try to do is find the most efficient path working outward in. Even if you have to travel a little bit longer to get to one location, if the next location is going to be back on your way in towards your ultimate destination or into the circle, it's best to start on the edges. Here's a fun one. That really doesn't take perfection here. Single player, you feel really beefy. And I'm also a good level. I feel pretty confident fighting without an issue here. Even getting a hit a couple times is really not the end of the world. The thing we don't want to do is go down. It's really just a waste of time. And I know that might be obvious, but we really want to save every second of time we have extra. I don't really care for any of those walking buffs, so I'm just going to take the runes there. Now we're going to head back into the church. Actually, another detour really quickly. I think it's worth it to grab the stone sword key from here if there is one, since I'm running that stone sword relic. And honestly, I know that seems like a big detour not to fight the top boss, but I'm just going to ignore that top boss. And if I seem a little distracted right now, it's because my cat is under my door trying to get my attention. So forgive me for that. At this point I'm going to head toward the castle. It is not trolls, which is a blessing. So it'll either be Banished Knights or Crucible Knights. Either one is fine by me. And it is Banished Knights. I like the Banished Knights a lot. They're really not so bad. Crucible Knights give a lot of runes, but they're also very time consuming to fight, especially in single player. And a lot of times, I'm probably a little guilty of it, but I ignore... I pick my rewards very quickly. And I ignore a lot of the passive buffs, which is probably not the best idea, because there are some really great passive buffs on a lot of these weapons. Just having them in your inventory will contribute to that. But as you can see, there's other really great passive options that don't take an item slot. So I usually just end up picking those and moving on with my life. I feel like it saves me a lot of time. I'm just gonna go ahead and ult on this guy. It's really annoying to get these ads attacking you at the same time you're trying to fight mini bosses. This could spawn a stone sword, unlikely, but yeah, no. See, that's good. If I end up wielding double great swords, that'll give me a nice little buff. I'm sure you go ahead and do now for that little 10% damage increase. And now, the reason I usually start at the other corner, so I can work around towards this corner, because after I'm done with these guys, I'm actually going to drop down and level up before moving on, which usually makes a pretty big difference, especially if you're going to go fight any of the bosses here, which I will plan on fighting the sewer boss if I have enough time. Let's see. Honestly, I can go do that now really quickly, kill this guy. Could use my ult here, but really I just want to save it for the sewer boss, whatever that is. Although, this guy's taking a bit of my time. There we go. See, I ran out of time here. But we're already basically level 10. Which is really not bad at all. I will go ahead and fight this boss. That'll save me time tomorrow when I come back to the sewer. Fight this one last guy and then move on. Now, in my opinion, it's really worth it to take all the time to fight the bigger enemies before the storm closes in, even though we're, you know, cutting it this close. It's really not a problem for us. Normally I would try to hit a second location or something on the way. There's not really much to do between here and the tree. I think I might have a little bit of time to get down here. But again, it's not the end of the world if we don't finish some of these things. It's just getting a few extra runes. Nicely enough here that we have a Grace to level up to 10, save us a little more time. Oh yeah, this is going to be an underground boss. Well, I can at least get the stone sword key here. This might be ridiculous, but I'm gonna ult on this guy. I really just like to do as many of these things as quickly as possible. I'm gonna get my ult back very quickly. And as you can see, the storm is just closing, so we had plenty of time to get that done. And I'm already high enough level to level up to level 11. Well, the storm has really blessed me here. And with that, we're at level 11 first night, before the end of the night. The thing I didn't do a whole lot of on day one was hit those top 2 churches, but I can make that rotation, no problem. This guy, I will say, is extremely annoying. Honestly, worse than the boss. Just never stops teleporting. Just aura farming me there. Like I said, I spam the grappling hook. Especially when it's one-shotting little enemies like that. And you can see how much we're chunking damage on this guy now. With all these levels. I don't really have the weapons I want yet, but honestly, I found that in this game it's really not the end of the world if you don't have the perfect weapon. Although the weapons do make a very big difference. Usually I just go for some kind of great sword on Wilder to get that fire follow-up attack. But yeah, night 1 boss, really nothing to write home about. Really nothing great there for me. And so here I'm actually gonna head up this tree, because this tree will take me all the way around to one of the churches I missed. And if you're not already doing this, I would recommend heading into the storm before it's fully cleared. Saves you just a little bit of time, but you know, everything adds up. And generally, you don't have to worry too much about your health. You'll end up probably hitting a grace on the way, which is exactly what I'll be doing. The one right in front of this church here. I'm already thinking about my rotation as we're flying to the next location. I'm going to hit the church. I could try to see what this field boss is. Or actually, the church and then the Evergaol. Can try to see what the field boss is. And make our way up to this church. Maybe hit another Evergaol before coming back to the castle. But we'll see how much time we have. Started running the wrong way. I forgot the churches actually heal you all the way, so you don't need to hit a grace if you hit a church. This should be quick. Yeah, hitting them both with one ult. It's a great way to just get through them quickly. As you can see, I even get pretty lazy sometimes with my rolls because I'm so overpowered at this point. And as I said before, those 10,000 runes really don't make a big difference in the long run, but a lot of those passive buffs are worth it, especially for the long term. Because as you can see, being level 11 night 1, level 12 the beginning of day 2, those 10,000 runes really wouldn't have made a huge difference. I expect to have a good surplus of runes at the end after hitting level 15. I think this is worth it to go ahead and run. Good stun right off the bat. Another one. He's not moving around too much, which is great for me. It's going to bring me to my ult again. I'm just going to ult him here as he tries to go for the grab. That was a good, quick defeat on that guy. Ugh. I'm gonna take it. Yeah. I might end up using that even as my primary weapon. We'll see. We're just gonna ignore the rise. I am gonna hit this Evergaol since it's so close. Crystalians are honestly so annoying sometimes. Luckily the circle has blessed me here. Leaving that church in exactly where I'm looking to go to. Like I said before, normally I would work outward in, but this was just too close to resist. And don't take any of this as gospel. You know, everything changes from run to run, even from, you know, pathing to pathing. It's more important to make snap decisions and just commit to them, in my opinion, than it is to overthink every destination and every pathing. It's going to save you a lot more time to just run toward a location and do what you need to do there than to overthink and stress every detail and then end up wasting more time just thinking about what you're going to do rather than just committing and doing something. Get 2 off that. Alright, so let's see. I want to get back to the castle. This might be a worthwhile stop. You don't always need to do the top castle boss. It usually does drop some good loot. But these field bosses also drop really good loot. This one's just a regular tree sentinel. Whiff the ult. And apparently I'm whiffing every attack. Jeez. I just really do think this game is actually extremely forgiving, especially when you have the levels, and especially in solo mode. It's almost easier sometimes because if you're a decent player, you can rely on your own skills. I'm just whiffing all these attacks for some reason. That's the thing about how I'm viewing some of these encounters. It's like, it's not that this is challenging. I'm getting hit more than I would expect or that I would want to, but really it's just about time, because the more you get hit, the more time you're wasting. Ugh, really nothing good here. Since I haven't gotten anything great, it might be good for me to run a Smithing Stone too. Just upgrade what I have. It's not ideal, but it's better than nothing. Luckily, it was pretty much on the way back to the castle. And this really easy night boss here. Now, we are growing short on time. But, as I said before, I like to cut things really close. Maybe that's part of the thrill of the game. Seeing how close you can cut things sometimes. Seeing if you can pull off those really amazing clutch moments. Being able to beat a boss before the storm closes in, or just barely escaping the storm, finding a grace, and recovering before the night boss. Oh man. I think that bottom arena might be partially in the storm already. I think we're good. It's got an ult here too. Oh no, we're good. And this is about where everything started to go up in flames. I absolutely hate this dog. I started to make a lot of mistakes because I started to feel the pressure of the storm moving in, wanting to move quickly, and I just totally underestimated this guy. He's really not that difficult to deal with, but he was moving around a lot, and I was just whiffing my attacks and missing dodges, and I just really let the pressure get to me here. And this guy moves around so much that I just completely whiffed another ult. You won't see me doing a no-hit run anytime soon. I tend to get hit way too much. But really, I think this is how most people's gameplay is going to look. I don't think most people are no-hitting these things. I think most people are just happy to get through bosses. This is taking too long. This is really taking too long. This guy just will not stop moving. This is gonna be a problem. This is a big problem. was at this point that I basically got almost completely silent and started contemplating whether I should even continue the run. But I think I'm a little too stubborn, and I wanted to prove that I could actually pull it off, so that is exactly what I tried to do. As you can see, this is really turning out to be a less than ideal run. I feel like I've gotten gypped with a lot of RNG on good rolls for weapons, and I've made a lot of mistakes. The thing I'm not going to do is give up. Those runes back there are still obtainable. Man, I really look like I'm playing very badly here. Oh, that's interesting. Normally, at least for me recently, I've only been seeing Ancient Dragons here as the final boss before the Everdark Sovereign. But I am not complaining. Don't know if there's going to be a second night boss. That's why I'm saving my ult here. Or at least for the final boss. Man, I'm going through these last though, and that's completely my own fault. I feel like I'm playing very poorly. So maybe all your gameplay won't look like this. Hopefully yours will look a little bit better than mine. So that's it. Feeling really bad about that. But it is what it is. I'm trying to be honest with my footage here. Kind of show you what it's really like for me. I did not claim to be an expert. I am not an expert. I feel like I'm halfway decent at these games, but I do have fun playing them, even when they're a little frustrating. We did make it, surprisingly. After a pretty awful run. Still alive. Not exactly the surplus of runes I was expecting, but 60,000 extra after all those mistakes. I mean, that's really not bad at all. Single player mode, this guy still has a Wending Grace. Some of the other merchants do too, but I completely missed them. That's my own fault. As many of the things that have happened in this run are. Let's see here. Honestly, I'm just gonna run double great sword. And we'll see how this goes. Oh. Let me buy a couple things before I rush off. As you can see, I'm already doing really good damage to this guy. On solo mode, it really does feel like a huge difference. Every hit feels much more impactful. Still whiffing many of my attacks, but see, he's gonna go for grab there. You can see those kind of dark blue lines coming off of his jaw. I hear the sound. I just dodge into those most of the time. Dodging into them is much more effective than trying to roll away from them, because you can get caught on the back end if you try to roll away a lot of the time. I think a big thing with this guy, at least with close-up characters, melee characters like Wilder, just not being afraid to get right under him, be right on top of him. There, he's going for another grab. Should actually give me an opening here to hit him. Key here is just to keep moving, wait for the pillar of light. There's the pillar of light. Kind of get within a good range of it. Yep, perfect. Spirit Springs. And go right for an attack. I'm gonna follow up with my ult. It's enough to stun him, get another crit. I'm gonna use this tier just because apparently that was the reason. It's getting really aggressive with me. And for those rock patterns, I like to find the sorry. For those rock patterns, I like to find the in-between places. It's a lot easier to dodge those if you're in between the rock patterns rather than right on them trying to roll. And from this attack, you can see that I haven't actually taken any damage. It's not super difficult to avoid if you can see where the pillar is going to be. I don't know what happened there. Now he's zoning me into the tornado. I think I was messing him up a little bit too much to start with, because now he's not giving me a moment. Put away my second sword at some point. Had to use my passive there because I'm getting hit by every attack that he has. And even on a scuffed run, that is enough to beat him. A little bit stressful due to my own lack of skill, honestly. It's a big skill issue, but as you can see, I didn't even need the Wending Grace there. I definitely could have ended up using it, but I just wanted to make this video just to demonstrate with a little bit of time, patience, smart pathing, and even very many mistakes and dumb moves, you can still beat this kind of boss. Same goes for multiplayer. The best thing in multiplayer is just to be playing with a group of friends that will follow you around, be able to make those decisions with you, hopefully draw some of the aggro, give you more room to breathe. That's the one thing with solo. I feel like you do a lot more damage, but drawing aggro 100% of the time can be a little bit difficult with some of these bosses. But yeah, so that was soloing Everdark Sovereign Adel, Baron of Knights, in Elden Ring Nightreign with the Wilder. I apologize for that painful experience if you watch the whole thing. I really feel like that was not a good representation of my playstyle, but again, I wanted to be honest. Sometimes runs go like this. Sometimes you just make mistakes and you feel sluggish. It is first thing in the morning here, so maybe I'm just waking up and that's part of the issue. But yeah, just wanted to show that you can do it. Believe in yourself and go for it.